I turned 45 in Brazil and went on an adventure. I also read a book with some wise words from a woman who was nearing the end of her life that confirmed for me what being successful really is, and I'll share her words at the end of this video. My trip to Brazil was all about being true to myself, gathering a colorful mosaic of memories, which meant being open to new experiences, exploring nature and wildlife, and slowing down, being mindful of each and every moment. I wanted to share the beauty of the nature, wildlife, and my experiences with you, and talk about starting my life over at 45 with a new mindset. That's what simple and slow living means to me. A mindset in the way that we approach life. It's more than just where we live or what we do. It's about taking the time to experience life in the moment, right here, right now. Too often I've heard stories about people postponing experiences in their lives, waiting until one day, once they retire, for example. And then when they do, they become sick or unwell and unable to do the things they wish they could have. I had an uncle who did this. He saved and saved up for the future to go on many travels when he retired with his wife, only to get Alzheimer's when he finally did retire. We are not promised tomorrow. So I take the opportunities that present themselves today, big or small, and I'm grateful for them. I often read comments on YouTube, and it seems like the idea of starting over in life and shifting our perspective on how we live is shared by others. This one comment read, "I desperately need your help. I need you to do a video series on how to start over in life. I feel like I need someone to literally start with me square one, as though I were back in childhood, and someone teaching me the things I need to know to eventually become a successful adult. I need help with discovery questions so I know what I need to be looking at in my life and thinking about, as well as working on." I guess the first discovery question I would ask this person to reflect on is, what does being a successful adult mean to them? Is it about financial wealth or inner wealth? I used to think success was all about following the status quo, constant productivity, accumulating wealth, having job titles, fame and popularity, on and on. But as I get older, I reject this idea more and more. When I just focus on those things, I find they increase my stress and anxiety and leave me in a state of unease. Today, being a successful adult to me means making an intentional step back to observe what's around me in the present moment versus dwelling on my past, on things I cannot change, or living in a future I only have limited control over. Don't get me wrong, I like some structure in my life and do make some general future plans, but they aren't rigid plans anymore. Knowing that life throws us curveballs and I need to practice flexibility in order to adapt to them, keep my balance, and flow with life's lessons. It's about practicing my acceptance of life on life's terms instead of what I think life should be. and being open to inner growth through the good times and also the challenges. It's about being true to myself, my values, and my heart. I recently read a book called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, and the most common regret people had was not having the courage to live a life that was true to themselves. I had already been going through a personal transformation before I read the book, but it confirmed for me that I needed to be true to myself and take my life back day by day so that I didn't have this regret. Today, I'm finding more and more courage to live a life that's true to myself and to find happiness, often in the simplest of things. I cherish those simpler moments while I intentionally practice slowing things down in my mind to truly absorb what's around me. And those moments don't all have to be zen and perfect. It's how I choose to respond to each and every moment. For example, when I was in Brazil, we had to stand up in some busy tourist lineups. I don't love crowds, but instead of getting frustrated, I chose to practice mindfulness and focus on the little things around me, like the sky above, a plant, or even trying to lull the cacophony of people's voices around me into a droning background hum that was a little more soothing. Today, I embrace opportunities that come my way, big or small, instead of pushing them away or saying I don't have the time to make time for myself. And I believe all of us have unique opportunities that come our way, if we're willing to see them and embrace them. I'm finding out it's a life where I feel more free to go on adventures, where I don't feel the continual need to justify everything I do as though seeking approval. If you can relate to my words, then I invite you to subscribe and leave a comment. And as I reflect back on the mosaic of colorful experiences I gathered in Brazil, etched into my heart and memories, I'm truly thankful they have become a part of my story. I also think back to the final words of a woman who was near the end of her life in the Top 5 Regrets of the Dying book, as she was cradled gently within the author's arms and said, "Live true to your own heart, my dear. Don't ever worry about what others think. Promise me." I intend to honor those words, to keep that promise, and I hope this video encourages you to explore what it means to be true to yourself and do the same. May you find peace. May you find happiness. Stay tuned for part 2 of my Brazil adventure, and thank you for watching. Here's another video YouTube thinks you'll like.